Welcome to the Frisco Town Council recap. I'm Tom Fisher. I'm the town manager for the town of Frisco. A lot of different subjects that the council dealt with in work session, so not a lot of decision making in their meeting last night. The first thing they did is, because we have two new members in Martin Allen and Dan Kibbe since May, we decided to go out and see the construction project of Slopeside Hall out at the Peninsula Recreation Area. So they spent about an hour out there meeting with our project manager and staff that will be housed in that building to hear about all of the different programs that will be held out of there. A lot of different after-school programs supporting sports camps all year round. And it really allows us to expand some of those offerings in the town of Frisco in the future. So we're pretty excited about that facility. It will be finished up sometime this fall. It was looking pretty close to done while we were out there, even though you might not look at it from the outside and know that it's close. But the people on the inside do know it's close. So the council was excited to see that and interact with staff on that project. Then they came back to Town Hall and they worked on hearing from our consultant and our staff about the Frisco-specific climate action plan that we're working on. This is really just getting kicked off as a planning process, so there will be some public engagement that the public will see over the next few months about that. It really follows the work that we've been doing around pay-as-you-throw and diverting waste from the landfill, or replacing plastic single-use water bottles with other materials that are more recyclable. Everything that we do, including trying to change the energy use to more renewable sources within the town of Frisco, are all around our abilities to affect climate change, and that will continue into the future as a strategic priority for the council. The council also dealt with a couple of other minor issues in working with their list of boards and commissions that they might participate in or that staff members cover down on. We're involved in a lot of different things outside of just the town of Frisco. The Summit Combined Housing Authority, or HC3, or different organizations across the state that handle different types of lobbying for different legislation. All those need to be covered with Frisco representation so that we can get our voice out in those things. And then last, the town of Keystone has requested to be a member of the Summit Combined Housing Authority, which requires that each of the communities okay that. And that will require a change in an intergovernmental agreement over time in order to make that happen. And the Frisco Town Council gave their nod to me as their board member on the Combined Housing Authority to vote in that way. So those were all the items that they covered from the standpoint of just working with staff on future items. But the real decision-making item that they had at their council meeting was about liquor licenses and the premise that those are on in relation to the distance to different things in town. And the issue that has come up is that we have a couple of public schools, or what are termed public schools within state law, on Main Street in Frisco, and there are some establishments that would like liquor licenses that are currently not allowed within our distance requirements. So the council gave direction to staff and our attorney to eliminate those distances in our code for the future, and they took their first reading of that ordinance last night and they voted unanimously in the positive to that. So we will see that on the next agenda of the council. The last thing I wanted to cover is that there's been a lot of public comment in the last few meetings about deed restrictions in the Peak 1 neighborhood and how calculations are made for the resale of those properties when a property does want to sell one, and its relation to the Summit Combined Housing Authority and maximum sales prices within a table that the SCHA maintains. The interesting thing about this is that we have to kind of manage the council from the standpoint of their participation in an issue like this. And the reason that is that we have 3 members of our council that live in the neighborhood where these deed restrictions are applied. So, it's possible that they could have a financial stake in the way that the council makes a decision around those things, which then creates a conflict of interest of them hearing that. So we're working with the council to understand which members can actually be involved in that discussion and which can't, and they have to make that determination with our town attorney before we can move forward with that. So we're working on that, and as soon as we get that settled out, we'll start to deal with those issues with the Peak 1 neighborhood and our deed restrictions. So stay tuned to that issue. Want to emphasize that that was an issue brought forward through public comment, but everybody can participate in the town of Frisco, and you can do that in a lot of different ways. You can go to friscogov.com and see our agendas or other agendas of other types of subjects within the town. You can make comments through email to the council through that same website, or you can show up to our meetings, which are the second and fourth Tuesday of the month at 7 p.m., and there is always a public comment period at that time. Thank you very much.